Interior Minister Alexander Dobrin spoke of a hybrid attack scenario after a drone equipped with explosives was found at Leipzig Halle Airport.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Kyiv has struck two Russian oil refineries hundreds of kilometers from the border in an overnight attack.
After a drone equipped with explosives was found Wednesday at Leipzig Halle Airport, Interior Minister Alexander Dobrin spoke of a hybrid attack scenario. Germany and many other European countries have repeatedly observed drones flying over sensitive sites like an airport, but Dobrindt made clear that the Leipzig case differs from previous drone incidents.
Drohnensichtungen, Drohnenbedrohungen, auch im hybriden Zusammenhang, das kennen wir aus der Vergangenheit, dass eine Drohne bewaffnet mit Sprengstoff sich hier auf einem Flughafengelände befindet, das ist ein neues Bedrohungsszenario.
Dobrin said that it was likely not amateurs behind the incident and said, quote, foreign powers could be involved. The Interior Minister, however, did not name any specific country. Germany is one of Ukraine's biggest military supporters. Authorities have said they suspect Russia of orchestrating many of the incidents as part of a campaign of sabotage, espionage and disinformation. Meanwhile, also on Wednesday, a Russian drone attack targeted a German cargo ship, local media reported. The vessel is said to have been hit several times by drones, and a fire is then reported to have broken out. Russia's defense ministry confirmed some drone attacks on Telegram, saying that two cargo ships were targeted in the Black Sea last night, which Moscow claims were carrying military goods.
For the first time in its history, the Bundeswehr is permanently deploying a combat brigade abroad. By the end of 2027, around 5,000 German troops will be stationed in Lithuania. For the Baltic state, which borders Belarus and Russia's Kaliningrad exclave, the brigade represents a vital security guarantee. For Vilnius, the brigade is a clear sign of Germany's long-term commitment.
In Lithuania, it has very positive effect. In Lithuania, more than 80% of population trust Germany and Germany's decision. So this is also something to bear in mind. This is the fact that I always share with my colleagues in Germany, saying that you are not only welcome, we believe in what you are doing, we have no doubts, and we believe in our joint future. So from our side, it's also additional part from our side. What concerns host nation support, we're doing maximum.
But the brigade isn't just there to reassure Lithuania. It's also meant to send a clear message to any potential aggressor.
For the adversaries that would think that this part of the front line of NATO is somehow weak, so it proves that they're wrong, and the message is very clear. So troops are here already, and they will be increased. And this is the clear sign that the defense will be, if it is needed, turned on from the very first second. So I see it as the factor for effective deterrence.
For Lithuania, the brigade marks a new chapter in its defense partnership with Germany, one built on a permanent presence rather than temporary deployments.
Ukraine has struck two Russian oil refineries hundreds of kilometers from the border in an overnight attack, President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Thursday as Russia hit a train station and commercial ship in Ukraine. According to Zelensky, Ukraine had hit oil refineries in the Bashkortostan and Yaroslav region, about 700 kilometers from the front lines. The attacks were, quote, strengthening the prospects for diplomacy, Zelensky said. The attacks come after Russia's assaults on Kyiv that killed at least 17 people on Wednesday and injured dozens more as Kyiv deals with a shortage of interceptor missiles. Zelensky said later Wednesday that he had spoken to NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte about securing more interceptor missiles. Both sides have been intensifying their long-range attacks in recent months, leading to a jump in civilian deaths. In July, Russian attacks killed at least 377 civilians and wounded some 2,129 others in Ukraine, making it the deadliest month of the invasion since April 2022.
Italy's health ministry placed all of its major cities on red alert on Thursday as a blistering heatwave grips Europe. The alerts stretch from Trieste in the northeast to Palermo in Sicily. They signal a health risk for the entire population, not only vulnerable groups. Meanwhile, the temperature reached 41.2 degrees Celsius in Austria, near the Slovak border, the highest ever recorded in the country. It is also facing severe drought, with rainfall levels so far this year far below the long-term average. In neighboring Hungary, prolonged drought and record low water levels on the Danube River have severely affected the country's only nuclear power plant, which relies on river water to cool its reactors. Operators at the Pax plant have reduced output to about 10% of normal production, leading authorities to ask major industrial users and households to cut electricity consumption. Germany also faces growing concerns over the impact of drought on transportation and industry, as water levels on the Rhine and other rivers continue to fall. The heatwave reached its peak across the Balkans on Thursday as temperatures neared 40 degrees Celsius and authorities battled drought and wildfires. In Serbia, firefighters struggled to contain several blazes after days of dry weather. In neighboring Croatia, tourists in Dubrovnik sought refuge in shade as temperatures soared along the Adriatic coast.
One week after tens of thousands of migrants attempted to cross the border from Morocco into the Spanish territory of Ceuta, the city is still struggling to return to normal. Meanwhile, Spain's Civil Guard has produced a 6-page report examining the possibility of another mass migrant crossing into Ceuta on the 15th of August, based on an analysis of unverified information circulating online. The tragedy left at least 88 dead and dozens missing. As a result, the Civil Guard has opened a support office for family members at the Tarajal crossing to help locate those whose whereabouts remain unknown. While most of the 72,000 who crossed the border have left, several thousand still roam the streets, hundreds of them unaccompanied minors. Ceuta's president has called the situation unsustainable and is calling for more government aid. The Ceuta government says it has more than 1,100 unaccompanied minors in its care, even though its centers have a theoretical capacity for just 90. The children are enduring dire conditions with limited access to food, water, shelter, and sanitation. The charity Save the Children has called for urgent efforts to locate and register all minors, warning that girls in particular face heightened risks of violence, trafficking, and exploitation.
The safest way to view the eclipse directly is with a pair of solar eclipse glasses. They have special lenses in them that block out 99.9999% of the sun's light, only then making it safe to view. You've got to make sure that they are ISO certified, so that they've been through the rigorous safety standards testing. But as long as you know that they're safe to use, you can directly look up towards the sun when viewing the eclipse. If you want to see the full eclipse, you need to get into the path of totality. And to get into the path of totality, you're going to need to go to places like Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain. Those are the places where the moon's shadow will be at its darkest, and you'll get that absolute 100% coverage of the moon in front of the sun.